Welcome to the Roman Road. Welcome to the Roman villa of Benicarló. We're on the Via Augusta. This is the Roman road that connected Rome all the way through France and through the whole of the Spanish coast, all the way down to Cádiz. And we're following the road northbound. We're heading into the northern side of Spain along the coast, exploring all the Roman ruins that are still here, that you'll still find along the Via Augusta. And the villa behind here is one of 6 or 8 villas that were found in this area back in the 1st and 2nd centuries. This was a huge, luxurious countryside villa centered around agriculture, and still to this day we're surrounded by orchards and orange groves. Of course, the oranges were brought much later by the Moors, but that's the beauty of Spain, where you have all these different layers, different civilizations. So here you have the Roman villa. You see the bits of column that are still left. You see the big circle in the middle. It's where the Romans captured water for the household, and then you can even see the walls for the rooms surrounding the center courtyard of your typical Roman domum, which is a Roman house. And the Via Augusta was the vital way, so how troops and merchandise and people could get up and down the Spanish coast. And we're actually not very far from Segundo, which was a large Roman settlement, and just further south of that is Valencia. So this house here was probably a day's march or so from the nearest Roman town, and it just shows how luxuriously these people lived out here in the countryside, exploiting the whatever they could grow in this area. So let's continue exploring. There's at least one more Roman domus in this area, and also the Roman arc that it's right on the old Via Augusta. So let's keep exploring Roman Spain. GuruGuru.com. Let's go. Welcome to the Via Augusta, and behind me is the Roman Arc of Cabanes. And the Via Augusta was the way the Roman army kept control of the Iberian Peninsula. The roads were built. Rome was very focused on building these strategic roads so they could send the legions and keep control of the area. Once the roads were built and the legions were in this area, then colonists will come behind, and then they will Romanize the area. And the area where we are now is just dotted with Roman villas, which at the time were exploiting agriculture and animal husbandry, and basically just Romanizing this whole area thanks to the Via Augusta. And as we've seen before, right on the Via Augusta, they like to put these memorial arches, these Arch de Triomphe. They think this one is a funereal one, and the top is fallen. So basically, normally above the arc it would be like a flat kind of area. Now the interesting thing is that the arc is just held by itself. There's no mortar. There's mortar on the bases, but there's no mortar on the arc. It's just held together by gravity and by just the shape of the stones, and it's held up for 2,000 years. And another reason why the Roman roads were so important is because they were very sturdily made. The archaeologists, when they dig out Roman roads, they're always amazed how deep they are. Compared to a modern road, modern road is probably, I don't know, 3-4 feet tall, deep. Roman roads were dug very, very deep, well over 6 feet. And the reason being, they had to, the troops went on foot, which is fine, but when they carried oxen carts, they carried very, very heavy loads. You know, they have all this material to transport, to build their monuments and their houses. And when you think about it, carts, very narrow wheels, and there's no rubber in the Roman era. So you're talking about heavy loads on narrow carts with wooden wheels. So that put a lot of pressure on the road. So the Romans very smartly recognized that and built the roads to be incredibly deep, and that's why they've lasted all this time and connected the whole empire. So let's keep exploring Roman Spain. Guru.com. Welcome to the Roman villa of Villa Margot. We're just outside the town of Castellón. We're right on the Via Augusta that connects Rome with Cádiz. And this area here, back in the 1st century, was agricultural area. And this fantastic excavation here has uncovered one of the most largest Roman villas of the area. This area, back in Roman times, was very fertile, and it's very clear that somebody very rich lived here because of all the different types of artifacts that they found. They found coins, they found brooches, they found amphora, they found so many artifacts, even parts of like the horse reins, and also just the sheer size of the excavation. What we're seeing behind us is actually just the entrance of the villa, and patios and workshops and flour mills. And there's actually a central alley that clearly indicates that the main house will be at the other side, where currently there's an orchard. And unfortunately, the owner of the orchard hasn't allowed the experts to dig in his land, but they've basically just by following the bits of mosaic and following the path, they're quite confident that the main house is inside, is buried underneath that orange grove there, and who knows what amazing treasures they will find inside. I have to say, very impressed with the work they've done here in Castellón to first of all finding the Roman villas and then preserving it, and also they built this really cute little kind of almost like a modern interpretation of what the interior courtyard of the villa would look like. And so if anytime you're between Valencia and Barcelona, it's definitely worth stopping here in Castellón to explore the remains of these Roman villas. So let's keep exploring Roman Spain. Guru.com. Let's go.